Hello. Who are you? Doesn't matter. Welcome. You're safe with me. I'll be right here, nice and close so I can speak without alerting the others. Let me tell you about Senua. Her story has already come to an end, but now it begins anew.
What's happening? It's breathing. Dead. It's breathing. It's breathing. He knows she's getting closer. He can feel her coming closer. She's getting closer. They're watching. They're watching. They're watching. They're watching.
This is a journey deep into darkness. There will be no more stories after this one.
What is she doing? Why is she doing this? They're watching. Why isn't she coming? She's doing this for him. She wants to rescue him. He's already done. Feel you coming. Coming. Quiet.
Oh, how rude of me. I never told you of the others. You hear them too, right? They've been around ever since the tragedy. Well, that's not quite true. Some are old, some are new, but they've changed. I think the darkness changed them, just like it changed her.
Can you see them? Over there. Why isn't she looking? Why aren't you looking? It's in hell high.
Look, up ahead.
Hell high.
You see it too?
You promised you gave you.
Yes. It is real after all. She's finally arrived in the land of mist and fog. The place the Northmen call hell.
Turn back. Go back. Go back. It's not safe. Turn back. Go back. Go back. It's not safe.
It's them. They're here.
You see them? I can see
Look around and you'll see them. The drowned, the sick, the slain. Here they lie, rotting in the fields and rivers of hell. But the dead don't always lie still here. This is not a place of rest.
You can't do this. Go back. Go back. They're going to do that to you. Can you see them? Can you see them? They're going to do that to you. They're watching. Stop. Can you feel them watching? They're watching her. They're watching her. You're so close to the darkness. Go back. Can you feel it?
What is she thinking? I can tell you. She's afraid. Wouldn't you be? You'd think she would get used to it by now after so many years. But the darkness, it just builds onto itself, growing stronger, towering over her. You might try and ignore it, turn away. But it's always there, just out of sight, where you're most vulnerable. It's like it knows that just enough light is all you need to see its suffocating power.
They can feel you.
You might think she's brave to go on this journey on her own, but it isn't bravery that drives her. bravery only means something to those afraid of death. Senua's fear runs far, far deeper. What is she looking at? What is she leaving behind? I know what she's thinking. I hear her thoughts. It's not too late to get into the boat and go back. No one will judge her. No one will ever know. Oh, she heard us. There's no going back.
You can't do it.
Senua pushes away a world that conspired to cause so much suffering. There's nothing to go back to, and worse to look forward to. Why don't you join us? Maybe you too have a part to play in this story.
Traumatized by the loss of her lover, a Celtic warrior by the name of Senua must find a way to bring him back from the depths of Helheim. Ever present and never fading, she must struggle to maintain control of her reality, all the while fighting against the voices in her head telling her otherwise. Slaying one god after another, she must destroy them to gain an audience with the one holding her love hostage, Hela. Only then can she see him again. However, if she should fail, then she too will share his fate, and the darkness will consume her and everything that she fights for. At least that's my interpretation of the game thus far. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Adam Wolf from Gamers Platform, and what you just saw was one of the most engaging and hauntingly beautiful introductions to any game I have ever experienced to date. It immediately grabs your attention and draws you into a world that, if you're not familiar with it, will really catch your eye, or in this case, your ear. As with all my other review videos, I'm going to go over a couple key points that I gained from my short time playing the game. The format of the show has been changed a little bit, however, so instead of live action commentary and a half hour of gameplay, I've played the first 2 hours of the game and tried to really get a sense of the gameplay and story. Instead of listing out the pros and the cons of the game, I will instead be covering things like graphics, gameplay, story, etc., and giving you my thoughts on each of those subjects. I was thinking about scoring the game at the end of the review, but I felt as though that would be disingenuous seeing as how I only covered the first couple of hours. If you're new to the channel, this show is about whether or not the game can grab you within the first half to few hours of gameplay. So, although not a proper review, it's really meant to showcase whether a game can grab the player from the start and make them want to play more. Whether or not it's worth a pickup will be up to you to decide for yourself. With that in mind, let's get right into it. Built using Unreal Engine 4, this game showcases the capabilities of this engine to its finest degree. Even though you have the option to run, it seems quite the crime to do so since it's so hard to ignore just how gorgeous this game looks. Developed by Ninja Theory, the company known for such games as Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, and Heavenly Sword, they have taken and blurred the line between what is considered AAA and independent. This new category of independent AAA, so coined by them, is pretty well placed and earned, as in just the first 2 hours of this game, I am just floored by how amazing the environments are in their depth and their detail. Character design is extremely diverse, ranging from the main character herself to the enemies that you face during your journey. Live action video is also masterfully blended into this world, as you are frequently contacted by a man from Senua's past who helps you along your way. This is truly a masterfully done piece of art, and for such a small independent developer, quite an achievement as well. Although this game is very linear in nature, I really feel as though there's no better way to tell a story. If it were anything else, for example open world, I think it would really take away a lot of what this game is about. The story is at the forefront of this title, and it's nice to see. However, I think the biggest element of gameplay in this game is definitely the sound design. Never before has any game used binaural audio to such a specific degree that it is actually the focus of gameplay. Everything you do in the game is dictated by the voices in your head telling you what to do. The game is filled with many puzzles that are refreshingly difficult and really make you think about your next move. The voices that you hear are used in these puzzles, giving you hints and clues as to where to go and what to look for, so you really need to listen. At the same time, these voices are also used during combat, telling you what moves to do and when to do them, as well as alerting you to incoming enemy attacks. Not even some of the biggest titles in the industry have used audio like this, and quite frankly, I think they should probably take notes. Button prompts are purposefully missing from the main gameplay, and I think this was done so as to immerse the player even further into the experience, forcing them to concentrate. All this while being berated by voices constantly speaking, making fun of you and telling you that you're wrong and you'll never succeed. Even at something as simple as jumping down a ledge, you're told you can't do it and you're going to hurt yourself. Now that's not to say that there are tons of button commands. As a matter of fact, this is possibly one of the simplest button configurations that I've seen in a title such as this. Having said that, with as few buttons to push as there are, during combat I did find myself second guessing what buttons to push because I was so enveloped in what the voices were saying to me, giving me a real sense of losing concentration and being inhibited by my simulated mental disability. This is by no means a bad thing. I think this was the point, and it really is an awesome surprise to have this level of non-existent hand-holding. Being so used to having something on the screen always telling you what to do has become commonplace, and I'm loving the fact that there's a company willing to break that sense of normalcy and really put you at unease. Adding to that unease is the interesting choices of difficulty that Ninja Theory decided to put into their game. You have the usual easy, medium, and hard, and then you have something called auto. This is the default difficulty, and basically what this does is scale the enemies according to how well you're doing in the game. Couple this with the fact that if you die in a fight and are brought back to try again, the darkness that has attached itself to you slowly consumes you a little bit more each time. Fail too much and it's game over. I can't tell you how on edge I was with each fight that I encountered. Even though I knew the buttons to push, I still felt nervous to no end each time I got hit, and even more so when I took enough hits to go down to my knees, frantically pushing any button to get my character back up again. This game, if nothing else, is an ultimate test of endurance and mental fortitude that I can say without a doubt I was not ready for. Being that this is a very story-heavy game, Ninja Theory would have to do everything possible to make sure to get things right from the get-go. So far, I have absolutely no complaints. As you go about the game, more and more of the story is revealed to you in a way that really makes you want to keep going for that next piece. You feel for the main character and her quest and all the trials and tribulations that she has to endure. So much so that you want her to succeed. The performance capture is superb, coupled with voice acting that can rival any AAA titles of today and yesteryear, such as the Uncharted series or L.A. Noire. Actress Melina Juergens exudes excellence in her performance, making you feel the pain and struggles that Senua feels with every step, every breath, and every thought. The unfortunate thing that I can't help but think is that the inspiration for this game seems oddly close to that of Dante's Inferno, a game where a man who lost his love has to go to hell and fight through the 9 circles to get her back. I'm not saying this is entirely a bad thing. Inferno from Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy is considered one of history's literary masterpieces, so to take inspiration from such a classic should be a compliment. Even better still, they took that idea and modified it to suit the needs of Celtic and Norse mythology, which was brilliant. Although I'm not well versed in Celtic mythology, I'm a huge fan of Norse mythology, and I'm really excited to see another story told in this manner. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, as they say, had me from hello. Within the first 10 minutes of the game, I was instantly drawn into the idea of playing a game unlike any other I've played before. From the visuals to the voice acting, everything just felt crisp and clean and really made me forget that this was an indie game. Yes, there were a couple of hiccups here and there with some very brief moments of stuttering and audio crackle, but that only happened maybe once or twice throughout the entirety of the play session. I'm pretty sure that was also due to the fact that I have everything cranked up to maximum in the graphic settings. All in all though, this game is extremely well made and well optimized, especially in light of many other AAA titles coming out for PC that have been subpar quality. This game is such a breath of fresh air in an industry leaning so heavily on high action and bland stories that I hope it won't be shoved under the radar for too many people looking for something worthwhile. The game is out now for PlayStation 4 and PC for $29.99 US, and I hope you guys liked this first look into Hellblade. If you do decide to pick it up for yourself, my hope is that you'll find this to be a diamond in the rough like I do. Thank you for watching this halftime review, and if you're looking for more reviews just like this one, check out my other videos in the halftime playlist. I've got plenty to go through, so I'm sure you've got plenty to watch. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry I couldn't help you. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. But until next time, guys, I'm Adam Wolf. This is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and I will see you guys in the next one.
I'm begging you, please, please don't leave here.